Welcome to the deep dive. If you thought the AI industry was moving fast before, well, buckle up.
Hey, yeah, seriously.
We just ripped through the source material covering the strategic decisions made over the past 7 days, so late September to early October 2025.
And look, this wasn't just a week of, product announcements hitting the feed.
No, not at all. This felt different, like a strategic land war kicking off.
That's exactly the perfect way to frame it. Our mission today is really to cut through all that noise and help you understand the coordinated strategic intent of these AI titans.
Right.
This period, it really marks the decisive start of what we're calling the platform war. Success isn't just about who have the best model anymore. It's about vertical integration.
Owning the whole stack.
Pretty much. So we're going to give you those core knowledge nuggets you need to understand these new power plays. We're talking everything from, new social apps and e-commerce shifts all the way to biosecurity risks and maybe even stuff happening in orbit.
Okay, let's dive right in then. The most aggressive move of the week has to be OpenAI's full stack offensive.
Oh, absolutely.
They executed this massive platformization strategy, clearly designed to cement their dominance and, maybe more importantly, establish some real defensible revenue streams.
Yeah, they are definitely officially done being just a model company. That's clear.
So Exhibit A is this Sora ecosystem blitz.
Right. So Sora 2 gets released. Huge technical leaps, by the way. Better physics. Much better motion consistency.
And it can generate, 10-minute HD clips now? With synced audio and dialogue?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
But they didn't just stop there. They immediately turned it into a consumer platform, launched an invite-only social media app for iOS.
And that app, which is, let's be honest, a direct shot at TikTok and Instagram Reel.
Oh, clearly.
It surged straight to number 3 on the Apple App Store, almost instantly. That kind of scale is honestly terrifying.
It is. They're basically trying to bypass the existing giants, own the entire content creation and distribution pipeline.
It feels like a total end-to-end power grab.
It absolutely is. And they threw in that killer feature cameos, letting users put their own verified likeness into generated videos.
Okay, but here's the really controversial part, the bit that feels like a massive gamble.
The copyright policy shift.
You're talking about moving to an opt-out model for training data. So if you're, say, a film studio or production company.
Right.
The burden is now on you to specifically ask, maybe even beg, to not have your work used for training.
Exactly. They're prioritizing making their model better, faster, by just assuming they have the right to use creative works unless explicitly told no.
Wow.
It's a huge bet. They're betting that the sheer consumer appeal, the virality of this new Sora app, will give them leverage over content creators down the line in every negotiation.
They're literally trying to rewrite the rulebook for the creative industries. And they must know it's going to cause immense friction.
Oh, they know. But if the Sora Plus was about owning creativity and, attention, the very next play was about owning commerce. They launched instant checkout right inside ChatGPT.
Starting in the U.S. first, right? With partners like Etsy, Shopify.
Yep. Initially U.S. only. But this is fundamental. This changes ChatGPT from just a tool you talk to, a search tool, into what we're calling a do engine.
A do engine, I like that. It executes the task, the whole transaction.
The entire thing. It's direct disintermediation. They're trying to cut Google and Amazon right out of that crucial final step. They want to own the moment you decide to buy something.
So the genius here isn't just the button, is it? It's the plumbing underneath. I saw they plan to open source the agentic commerce protocol.
That's the infrastructure play. Exactly right. Like Stripe, but for AI commerce.
Okay.
They want their protocol to be the invisible standard, the universal language for all AI-driven buying and selling.
So if everyone else, competitors, retailers, future AI agents, has to use their architecture.
Then they control the foundation of whatever the next version of e-commerce looks like.
And fueling all this aggression is just incredible financial muscle, that secondary share sale. OpenAI's valuation hit $500 billion.
Astonishing, isn't it? More than SpaceX now. And they pulled in, $4.3 billion in revenue just in the first half of 2025.
That kind of war chest lets you make these big, risky bets.
It enables the copyright gamble, sure, and the huge infrastructure pushes, but they're also playing smart defense. Proactively.
The parental controls for ChatGPT.
Exactly. Comprehensive controls, linking accounts, setting quiet hours, filtering content.
And that specific feature for notifying about potential self-harm risk, that felt very deliberate.
Oh, it's a clear signal to regulators. It's them saying, look, we get it. We're taking responsibility for the social side effects, even as we jump headfirst into social media.
It's like preemptive defense, trying to set the safety standard themselves before regulations force their hand.
Precisely. Control the narrative, gain a slight edge.
Okay, so that $500 billion valuation and this full stack assault, it must be putting immense pressure on the incumbents. How are Google, Apple, Meta reacting? Let's talk about the Titans' countermoves.
Right, so Google is doing a classic pincer movement, really leveraging their massive distribution.
Okay, Pincer, how so?
Well, on the consumer side, you've got Gemini deeply baked into Workspace. That gives them, what, 400 to 450 million monthly active users?
Huge reach.
Huge reach, yes, but the sources highlight a nuance there, right? The engagement depth.
That's the catch. High MAUs, but Gemini's daily active user base is still way smaller than ChatGPT's, like 5 times smaller or more.
So distribution isn't automatically translating into habitual daily use? Not yet, anyway.
Correct. So the second part of the pincer, ambient computing. They launched Gemini for Home.
Replacing Google Assistant on Nest devices.
Yeah, and it's not just a voice swap. It's a new subscription platform. They're bundling premium features, Gemini Live, AI camera summaries into a $10 a month service. Turning that passive smart home gear into recurring revenue while also, defending their turf in the living room. It's a solid structural defense.
Definitely. Meanwhile, Apple made this huge and I think very telling pivot.
Shelving the cheaper Vision Pro headset plans.
Exactly. Their priority just completely shifted to AI-powered smart glasses.
Which feels like a pragmatic move, right? Admitting the super expensive spatial computing thing is maybe niche for now.
Right.
And the real long-term fight is for that ambient personal AI. And the design reflects that, doesn't it? Expected to be tethered to the iPhone, no built-in display.
Totally reliant on a next-gen Siri. The focus is purely on the AI interface.
And internally, they're working on that ChatGPT-like thing, codenamed Veritas.
Yeah, refining Siri's ability to actually search your personal data, execute complex tasks across apps. They want their ecosystem to be the ultimate personal AI interface. Hardware is secondary to the AI brain, it seems.
Okay, now Meta. They seem to have this classic dual strategy playing out.
Monetize now, build the platform for the future.
Yeah. And the monetize now part is, well, probably the most controversial move this week.
You mean using conversation data from their AI tools for targeted ads?
Yeah. Starting in December, or across Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and outside of a few regions like the EU, no real opt-out unless you just stop using the AI features entirely.
It's bold. Financially, leveraging that unique data firehose makes sense for them.
But the potential PR hit. After all the privacy backlash they've faced over the years, is the money worth that risk?
Yeah, it's the calculation they're making, isn't it? They're betting the utility of the AI features will win out for most users, that people will trade the data for the convenience.
We'll see.
But their long-term vision is even bigger. They announced this goal to create the Android for robots.
The OS for the next big computing platform.
Exactly. A licensable foundational AI model to be the brain for third-party robots.
Yeah.
They missed out on owning mobile OS, so they're aiming to own the software layer for the physical robotic world this time.
Ambitious. And speaking of platform wars heating up, it's already landing in court. We have to mention the Apple versus XAI lawsuit.
Elon Musk versus Apple over the ChatGPT integration in iPhone. Yeah.
This feels like a really critical early test case.
Absolutely. How do antitrust principles even apply to these new AI platform gatekeepers? Musk is basically arguing Apple is using its App Store and iOS control to unfairly pick a winner, OpenAI.
Acting like a monopolist.
While Apple counters, saying they're just curating the user experience, choosing best-in-class partners.
The outcome there could set a massive precedent for who controls user access in this AI era.
Definitely one to watch.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Moving past the big platform battles, what about specialization and the new rules emerging? It's clear not everyone is trying to build a general do-everything AI.
No, definitely not. The market is fundamentally splitting, bifurcating into these generalists, and then highly specialized experts.
Wow.
And Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 4.5 is a prime example.
Right. They didn't try to beat everyone on general knowledge. They laser-focused on enterprise code generation, high value.
And they nailed it. State-of-the-art score on SWE Bench, 77.2%. For listeners, that benchmark is like the gold standard for AI coding ability. It's phenomenal.
But the truly killer feature, according to the sources, was the engineering behind it.
Yeah, its ability to maintain coherent focus on really complex coding tasks for over 30 hours straight.
30 hours, wow.
That's what turns it from just a coding model into something you can actually delegate real work to, like a junior developer in an enterprise setting.
And that focus gives them dominance in that specific vertical. They hold, what, 42% of the enterprise code gen market, double OpenAI's share.
Exactly. Which tells you, as an enterprise customer, you probably need a portfolio of AI tools now. One size won't fit all. You pick the best tool for the job.
Makes sense. Meanwhile, regulation is trying to catch up to all this. While the giants fight for market share, California just set a regulatory floor.
SB 53. Governor Newsom signed it. First comprehensive U.S. AI safety law, really targeting the developers of these powerful frontier models.
Okay, we should probably clarify frontier model in this context. What does that mean here?
Basically, the really powerful cutting-edge models, the ones that could potentially pose systemic risks, cause widespread harm if something goes wrong.
Got it. So this law moves things from, like, voluntary corporate promises
Into actual legally enforceable mandates, things like mandatory public disclosure of safety protocols, reporting incidents within 15 days.
And they actually defined catastrophic risk with hard numbers. Over $1 billion in economic damage, or more than 50 deaths or injuries.
Plus $1 million fine per violation. It sets a pretty clear boundary.
But they also tried to balance it, right? To avoid just stifling innovation.
Yeah, that was the savvy part. The law also establishes CalCompute, a public cloud cluster, specifically to help startups and academic researchers access compute power.
So help the little guys while regulating the big guys. And given where most AI labs are,
It pretty much functions as the de facto national safety standard for the U.S., at least for now.
we're seeing adaptation elsewhere, too. Look at the creative industries, the music labels.
Right, UMG, WMG.
Yeah.
They're apparently close to landmark licensing deals with AI music companies like Suno and Udio.
Trying to get ahead of it this time, learn from the Napster era, maybe turn a threat into a revenue stream.
Seems like it. Their big demand now is for these AI companies to build sophisticated tracking tech, like YouTube's Content ID, to figure out usage and calculate royalties accurately.
But that creates its own headache, doesn't it? The source has mentioned internal conflict.
Yeah, the big unresolved issue. Individual artist consent. Who gets to say yes or no? The label or the actual musician whose style is being used. That's the next battleground.
Interesting. And speaking of specialized training, XAI's approach is fascinating. The Gamer Core?
Isn't that cool? They're actively recruiting video games tutors, paying them $100 an hour to use their specific gaming expertise to make Grok better at game design and generation.
So it's like expert in the loop on steroids.
Exactly. Moving beyond just generic feedback from random people, they want to instill actual taste, strategic intuition, using deep domain knowledge.
That feels like a new standard for training really sophisticated, specialized AI. Not just huge generic data sets, but smaller, high-quality data curated by real experts.
I think we'll see a lot more of that. And underpinning all this global competition is, well, efficiency.
Ah, the cost factor. China's DeepSeek.
Yeah, they released DeepSeek v3.2-XB. The key innovation was something called DeepSeek Sparse Attention.
Which basically means
It's engineered to be much more computationally efficient when dealing with really long pieces of text. Reduces cost, reduces latency, makes it cheaper and faster to run.
and they immediately followed that up by cutting their API prices.
By 50% or more. It's a clear signal. Architectural efficiency, the actual economics of deploying these models, is now a major competitive axis right alongside raw power or capability.
Especially if you're maybe facing hardware restrictions. Clever engineering can help offset that.
Precisely.
Okay, this brings us nicely into our final section, redefining the frontier. The really long-term foundational stuff. Let's start with infrastructure. Jeff Bezos's prediction.
Gigawatt-scale data centers in Earth orbit
Right.
within 1 or 2 decades.
Wow. Why?
Well, it's a direct response to a looming physical problem on Earth. Energy. The power demands of AI are becoming unsustainable. They could literally cap progress.
So move them off-world.
Orbital data centers could tap into uninterrupted 247 solar power. It suddenly makes the commercial space race a critical piece of AI's future infrastructure.
Mind-bending. Then there's the truly scary stuff, the biosecurity zero-day.
Yeah, this Microsoft research was sobering. They used
Sure.
publicly available AI tools.
To generate thousands of new digitally simulated toxins, things like ricin variants.
It completely evaded 4 different commercial screening methods used today.
So this is the proof, the smoking gun that catastrophic risk researchers have worried about.
It provides empirical evidence. AI can create novel threats that bypass our existing safety nets. The process they used to find and fix it was described as a Windows update model for the planet.
Constant patching needed for biosecurity, because the threats will keep evolving thanks to AI.
Exactly. The threat is unprecedented, and the solution has to be continuous.
Okay, on a slightly more optimistic note, we had a quantum leap. Caltech physicists
Built and operated the world's largest neutral atom quantum computer, over 6,100 qubits.
and with really high accuracy, right?
Yeah, 99.98% accuracy on single qubit operations, and a pretty long coherence time, 13 seconds.
Why is that specific approach, neutral atoms, significant?
It demonstrates a viable path to actually scale up the number of qubits without sacrificing stability, which has been the huge challenge. Neutral atoms are inherently more stable.
So this gives us an engineering blueprint for a truly fault-tolerant quantum computer.
The major step in that direction, yeah. And that kind of machine could absolutely revolutionize AI training and complex optimization problems down the road.
Okay, and finally, let's wrap with the geopolitics of it all. Compute power. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang's stark warning.
That China is now nanoseconds behind
Yeah.
the U.S. in designing and making advanced chips.
Nanoseconds. That phrasing feels very deliberate.
Oh, it's a wake-up call. Signaling the U.S. lead is closing much faster than maybe people realized.
Which just intensifies the global competition.
And pushes us further towards potentially two separate, fragmented hardware and software ecosystems worldwide, which complicates everything for global companies and just accelerates that race for efficiency we talked about earlier.
What a week. I mean, this really confirms it. We are deep in the era of integrated AI ecosystems now.
Absolutely.
Success is clearly defined by platform strength, owning the social feed, owning the smart home, owning the transaction, not just having the best model in a lab.
Yeah, and if we tie this all together for you, the listener, especially if you're an enterprise customer, the real value going forward seems to be coming from two places. One, those specialized vertical leaders like Anthropic crushing it in coding, and two, the picks and shovels companies, the ones building the tools and infrastructure that enable the whole ecosystem.
So the takeaway is you probably need to assemble a tailored portfolio of AI tools now.
Right. Think bespoke solutions for specific functions, rather than searching for one single AI master key that does everything perfectly. That probably doesn't exist.
Absolutely. Okay, that leaves us with one final provocative thought for you to chew on. California's new law, SB 53, tries to prevent catastrophic AI risks using specific damage thresholds, like that $1 billion estimate. But now we have concrete proof that Microsoft biothreat research showing AI can engineer completely novel threats, things previously unknown, that bypass current safeguards. So the question is,
How fast can mandatory regulation and safety testing that Windows Update model for the planet actually keep pace?
can it possibly keep up with the exponential speed of AI creation itself?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Or maybe trillion-dollar now.